Welcome to aminacademy.com. Let us discuss about rise of Ottoman Empire. The rise of Ottoman dynasty to rule much of Europe and Asia is one of the most remarkable stories in history. In the 13th century, the Ottoman ruled only one of a number of Turkmen principalities that reigned the descendant Byzantine state in western Anatolia. Within 2 centuries, they had established an empire that encompassed not only the former Byzantine lands of southwestern Europe and Anatolia, but also Hungary and the Arab world, and that empire was to endure into modern times. Who were the Ottomans? Where did they come from? How did they establish their rule, and what was the result of both of them, and the people whom they came to dominate? Let us discuss each. Now, we'll discuss further about the rise of Ottoman Empire. In that, first we'll talk about the Turks in history. The Turks are a group of people who have played an important role in world history and whose history can be traced back thousands of years. The Turks were originally a nomadic people from Central Asia who lived near the Altai Mountains. The Turks migrated to many regions, including Central Asia, West Asia, Siberia, and Eastern Europe. The Turks first used the term Turk as a political identity during the Göktürk Khaganate period. The Turks established several empires, including the Seljūq Empire and the Ottoman Empire. In World War I, the Ottoman Empire collapsed at the end of the World War I after losing territory and facing nationalist movements. Turkish Republic. The Turkish national movement proclaimed the Republic of Turkey in 1923. The Turks have also played a role in bringing Eastern and Western cultures to each other. Now we'll talk further about rise of Ottoman Empire. The Ottoman Empire, former empire centered in Anatolia. The Ottoman Empire was named for Osman I in 1259 to 1326, a Turkish Muslim prince in Bithynia who conquered neighboring regions once held by the Seljūq dynasty and founded his own ruling line in 1300 C. Ottoman troops first invaded Europe in 1345, sweeping through the Balkans through defeated by Timur in 1402. By 1453, the Ottomans under Mehmed II, the conqueror, had destroyed the Byzantine Empire and captured its capital, Constantinople, now Istanbul, which henceforth served as the Ottoman capital. Under Selim I, from 1512 to 20, and his son Suleiman I, the Magnificent of 1520 to 66, the Ottoman Empire reached its greatest peak. Suleiman took control of part of Persia, most of Arabia, a large section of Hungary and the Balkans. By the early 16th century, the Ottomans had also defeated the Mamluk dynasty in Syria and Egypt, and their navy under Barbarossa soon seized control of much of the Barbary coast. Göktürk Empire. What is Göktürk Empire? The Göktürk Empire, also known as the First Turkic Khaganate, was nomadic empire that existed from 6th to 8th century in Central Asia. The empire was established by the Göktürk Khaganate, a confederation of Turkic-speaking tribes led by the Ashina clan. Now, Theodosian wall. What is that? The Theodosian walls were the defense walls of Constantinople, which protected the city of centuries for centuries and were considered one of the most successful fortification of late antiquity. The built in two phases during the reign of Theodosius II around 408 to 50, the walls were a triple line of defense that included inner wall 18 meters high and almost 5 meters thick, reinforced by 96 towers. Outer wall 8 to 9 meters high, reinforced by 92 towers. Moat 20 meters wide and 7 meters deep. Features. The wall also included six main gates, several secondary posters, and an inner and outer terrace. Effectiveness. The walls were considered impregnable and remained effective into the 15th century. They held against the Avars and the Persians, and even during the combined Avar siege of 626, the walls saved by the Byzantine Empire. Symbolism. The walls were powerful symbols of the empire power, and the golden gates were the starting point of for possessions to the heart of the city. Legacy. The Theodosian walls are now a memorial tourist site that reflects the rise and fall of the Constantinople through a Byzantine Empire, the Ottoman Empire, and modern day Turkey. Now we'll further discuss the detail about the rise of Ottoman Empire. First, we'll talk about Turkic origin. What is Turkic's origin? The Ottoman descended from the mass of nomads who roamed in the area of the Altai Mountains east of the Eurasian steppes and south of the Yenisei River and Lake Baikal in India that today are part of the Outer Mongolia. The Atlantic nomads had a primitive, mobile civilization based on tribal organization, customs, and social sanctions without the formal organs of government and lost characteristics of more advanced societies. Their livelihood came mainly from the raising flocks and taking what they could from their weaker neighbors. The temporary leadership was entrusted to Hans, but the scope of their authority was limited to searching for pastures and military activities and did not extend to relation among the individuals within the tribes or among tribes themselves. Beginning in the second century before Christ, changing political, military, and climatic conditions in the Altai homeland sent successive nomadic waves against the settled civilization located on the borders of the steppes. Those who moved to the south and west towards Eastern Europe, the Middle East, the Central Asia came to be known as Oghuz among themselves and in general as Turkmans or Turks to the whom they attacked. For the most part of the great mountain ranges of the Hindu Kush, the Elborz, and the Caucasus provided the Middle East with the natural defense line against these incursions. Up to 11th century, the great Middle Eastern empire were largely successful in this endeavor. The August nomads bounded off the northeastern defense tier of Middle Eastern civilization and moved north and west into areas of less resistance in what is today Russia and Eastern Europe. The different waves of migration were exemplified by the Huns in 5th century and later the Avars, the Magyars, the Bulgars, and Hazars, who ruled an empire that stretched well into the Caucasus and the Crimea between the 7th and 10th centuries, and the Prussians, who ruled east of the Caucasus as well as the Bessarabia and Moldavia and all the way to the eastern Carpathians in the 9th century. The Gokturk Empire, most of the nomads moved on the west when they were unable to penetrate the Oxus defense line, but a few settled along the borders of the Middle East were assimilated and civilized by its antecedent culture and eventually became its revivers and defenders against the continued attacks of their uncivilized brethren. Now, so far we discussed about the rise of the Ottoman Empire, and in between we talked about Gokturk Empire and their history. After that, about the Theodosian walls of Great Wall of Turkey, Great Wall of Constantinople. We have done. Please subscribe our YouTube channel.